welcome to my channel. Well, I recently got this flashlight that I haven't reviewed yet. It's the TS25, which is basically a 21700 version of the TS10, which is AA size flashlight, but it takes a 14500. They make a diffuser for this, but it didn't come, with the flashlight. And to order one from China, it's going to take me 3 weeks or so to get here. So what I did was I made my own diffuser. Now, this is a compromise, all right? I mean, it works as a diffuser. And it was fairly easy to make. Basically, I took an old LED light bulb like this. I got it here at the seam, and some of these are glass and some are plastic. I went with the plastic one because it is designed for, these things get hot, especially if you check the base of one of these when they're running. Man, do they get hot. Over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so this is fairly high temperature, but the whole purpose of this diffuser was not for high temperature. Let me turn some of these lights off, and I'll show you what I mean. This TS25 has some very, you see this? This has got a magnetic base. I'll talk about this in a little bit, because I found this 10 finning 1987 coin in the parking lot here in Texas. Now I've got, like I said, I've got coins from 1949 10 finning. But what I didn't know about them was they're metal. They're steel. And I looked it up, and basically it's steel with a brass plate. So I didn't know that, but just to find that in the parking lot. Anyway, let me turn this light off also. Now it's on low mode right now. This is the high mode of this. And this is just the sequence light color. All right. So it doesn't come out this side. And if you're doing this, you pretty much have to have it facing yourself. Get off there, you guys. Everybody's magnetic. But when I put this on, you see what it does? It gives it kind of like a candlelight effect. And let's get into the crazy disco mode. And it makes it look more like a candle flame or a fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, I didn't do it right. I'm just holding it down, cycling through the different modes. The first one that goes crazy is the disco mode. That one right there. See how that's weird looking and everything? And it doesn't project very far, if you're shining in it. So if you want it as an ambience type thing, you just put this little thing on here. And then you can see like the little flame looking portions to it, because this one has 8 auxiliary LEDs. I really like the way this one is set up. But anyway, now some cautions about what I've used. I'm just going to use it mainly to have this tail stand and do this, as a little. At night, it's not overwhelmingly bright, but it looks kind of cool. Now, what I used here was a hot glue gun. And if you turn this guy into turbo, man, does it get hot. I read on the back of the box, it says it has a temperature regulator and a proximity sensor. So what did I do? I put my hand like this and I put it in turbo. No, there is no proximity sensor. What the proximity sensor is the sensors in your hand say, ow, I'm on fire, and you pull your hand. I think this thing could start a fire in turbo. If you had char cloth or something, you put it on there, it would ignite it for you. what a proximity sensor would do would be, let's turn this guy down. I got it in step mode right now. All right. So this is light low. What a proximity sensor would do is that as you got closer, the light would automatically step down. It would know that something's within its proximity. Maybe something to do with the reflection of photos. I don't know how they do that. But anyway, it doesn't have that in there as far as I'm concerned. Now, what I did was I just took a medicine bottle and I checked, and it's going to fit, but it's kind of loose, right? Now, there's various things you could do. You could put something on a flashlight, which I didn't want to do. You know, like, you could even use one of those rings, possibly. You know, those little rubber glow rings in there, just give you a little friction fit. But what I did with this one was I just put some extra glue in there, you know, like a little friction fit type thing. It'll work for, like I said, as long as you touch this and it's not hot. You don't want to get above glue gun melting temperature, and this thing will in turbo. But what this does is it gives you a nice little area light. Now, if you don't have one of these and you're trying to light the area, you're going to have to use more lumens if you're going to try to bounce it off the ceiling. You know, you're just going to have to go your highest setting just to get more illumination. Whereas if you put that on this, it looks like a regular light bulb now. It really diffuses it. Now, you can get these, you know, the real ones. I mean, the ones from Wurkkos are usually silicone. This is solid plastic, which doesn't absorb, you know, stuff will stick to this a little bit and everything else. The advantage of, you know, like I said, you've probably got, if you look around for things, like if you want a diffuser for your flashlight, you've probably got some common item lying around that'll work. You may have to modify it a little bit. Now, as far as on getting this apart, I use this cub. Why did I use this cub? Because it's cut me before, so I'm very careful with it. But it was perfect for prying. I had one of my nail nick tools in there, but it wasn't working. You know, it's flat. I needed a pointed tip to lever it up. But basically, this is just glued down in a light bulb. This is a functioning one, so I don't want to tear it apart. But you just get between that wedge, you get yourself an opening, and you just start, you know, lifting up, and then further down you lift up, and eventually it pops off. And then you just, for this right here, what I used was the awl and the Swiss Army knife to start a hole, like right about here. And then I took the scissors, because these are pretty heavy-duty scissors here. And I just cut. Cut along there. And then it's just a matter of gluing it together, which, you know, it's not pretty, but it works. So I just wanted to include that there with you. And as far as these tin finning coins from Germany and stuff, I thought, wow, man, they must have really gotten cheap in the 80s, because these have been around a long time. You know, like 1950. Yeah, but they've been doing this for a long time. So that's the first. If you want to find any, these, the German government stopped accepting these as currency in 2002, I believe. But they went to something else, I guess. But yeah, I found that one, and one side was good. I'm trying to find it now. Here it is. One side looked good, but the other side, you know, it had been run over by a car, and it was rusting. You know, I was going like, what? Coin? I can see them getting a, you know, because it's brass plate, I could see them getting a dark like this, but rust? And my flashlight just happened to go by it. You know, after I picked it up and had it at the desk, it was over on the table, and I went to touch it. I went to pick up this flashlight, and this coin went pink. I went, whoa! So yeah, that's just, I'll just show you the other ones I had. This is a 1949 one. This right here is a mint mark thing. The one that I found was F, which was from Stuttgart. Let's see, where is he? Focus up there. You can't see it real well, but it's right up there. It's an F. And this was 1987. This one's a 1955 finning. And this one is a 1949. Another 1949. And a 1950. I probably got more flying around. These are just ones that, but yeah, you can go and look up what each, that's their mint mark and stuff. But that's unusual to find here in Texas, basically, you know. Just to find one of these lying around. And I wasn't carrying any in my pocket. I've got foreign currency here, but I don't carry it around. So anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. I like to take things that are trash or throw away and make something useful out of it. And this one, as long as I don't go turbo or get this thing really hot, it'll work as a diffuser, but it's also mainly for a disco light mode thing. You can move it up and down to adjust where you want to see your little displays. Turn these lights off. Turn this light off. Turn this light off. But yeah, it makes a cool little thing, and you can make it out of trash. I got the idea because of Olight, you know. I was like, wow, that's basic. This is basically one of those. Now, if you wanted it not as domey, you could start cutting this, but I just used what it was, you know. I didn't want to have to try to, you're going to have to hacksaw through this or something. It's pretty tough plastic. You're not going to take just scissors to it. And you could shorten it down to where you basically got something like that if you wanted to. Because when you go on the higher modes, you start seeing a circle up here where it's trying to get out. It doesn't show up that well on the camera. But yeah, there you go. Wasted enough of your time. I'm still using this flashlight. I wanted to use it before I reviewed it or anything, but I really dig it. I really like it. This one's great because it's small and compact. You know, you can just, with your finger, you can manipulate it. Almost has as much light output as that one. But this one, because it's got 4 emitters and 8 side LEDs, yeah, you'll freak out if you look at that too long. Get off there. This has a wider, it's like a pure flood, but it's bright. So yeah, there you go. Put my disco light back on. And yeah, this is secure. It doesn't flop around. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.